So let's like highlight our good folks. So welcome back, y'all, to another episode of Who Woke the Savage. I'm your girl, Miss Well and Woke, aka Day from Around the Way, and I'm kicking it with my homie with the mostest.
Lady A Savage.
Like we already told y'all,
Woo.
this is a Bronx Be
Thank
More
y'all so much for
baddie
tuning in.
session. So, friend, on another episode of Life is Lifing, part 75, right? You know how we had this conversation? I was like, I am so tired. I don't know about y'all out there, but my energy has been zapped. And I feel like the summer whipped by, fall came in with a vengeance. It's like, it's brick, like grab your Miramont, grab your Mackage, get the North Face out. You know what I'm saying? If you got the little chinchilla, throw it on. It's getting cold outside. And that's adding to the fatigue. So I know I'm feeling sleepy boots. I don't know about you, where you are energy wise, but it's not giving. It's not giving people.
I feel like I naturally be tired. Okay, anybody that knows me know I can fall asleep at the drop of a dime, baby. Don't nothing excite me more than knowing my bed is around the corner or a bed. Something too late down. I can sleep in a bed, baby. It don't matter. I'm tired. It's sometimes an understatement.
Yeah.
Like you said, the weather is changing. Exhaustion is kicking in.
hmm
It's real.
I give you so much credit because you are a better sleeper than I. Like I 110%. Like you allow yourself to get rest. Like I'm gonna tell you, if you say it's nap time, I can never take a nap. I've never been good at taking a respite. I tell you this all of the time. I was like, it's either sleep or die. Either I sleep it this morning or it's over. You know how to get good rest. It's still a struggle. I don't know if anybody else has that same difficulty that they have to like they have to be in a calm state. You have to be very calm to get into a good place to sleep. I'm telling y'all, like you have to mentally and physically prepare your body for
Feel like
rest.
I always
And
commended you because you could sleep. I feel like I always commended you because you're up more. Like I feel like they say, like you can't get no money sleeping. Like granted, I don't sleep my day away, but like when I do have the chance to just like get some sleep in, I'm going to do that. But I feel like I always commended you because you can go from here to here. Like I watched it. We could go out, be out all night, do this, that, and the third. You literally take a little cat nap and then be in a 7 o'clock meeting, literally hosting a meeting, like or putting a whole like PowerPoint together at 6 a.m. in the morning, like legitly, and be like, oh yeah, so we're going to brunch by 11. I'd be like, God damn, like, did you sleep at all?
I think that both of us, what we're saying is that balance, right? We're talking about making sure that you have enough of both, right? Like you have to be able to get good rest, but then still try to maintain some energy to handle business and take care of things because you can't get nothing done without sleep. And at the end of the day, like you said, you can't make money in your sleep yet. Yet. We're going to add that hashtag yet. The goal is to make money in
No,
our
for
sleep,
real.
just to let people know. You know what I'm saying? But I do, and I feel like, what do you do to kind of maintain? Sure, 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 right? Call it, manifest it, bring it into fruition. But what do you really feel like is like the biggest sign that your energy is drained? Like, how do you know that you're like beyond tired? Like, what is your key sign that you are powering down?
I feel like for me personally, I think it's a mix of irritation. I think everything low key kind of irritates me a little bit, and I'm not one to get irritated about just anything. So I feel like it's irritation. I feel like it's honestly, in the body and feeling the exhaustion. Like honestly, like you just feel beat down. Something in my body will feel like worn out. Like I'm just sitting up here, like you feel like you're just like making your way and you don't even know how. So I feel like that's how I always can tell when stuff is getting too heavy. I'm getting too exhausted. It's too much.
I feel like,
What about
we
you,
always
friend?
use the term crash out. We talk about crashing out and people use it as a way to say that people are fighting. But when I say crash out or crashing, that means like I'm automatically on shut. My body is powering itself down. Like I don't even know I'm asleep. Like I don't even know what's happening. And it's crazy. I could be out at a movie with somebody and they like, sis, the credits came on and you was asleep. Cause I was like, look, I had a long week. I've been running and going. On the third day, like Jesus rose, I had to rest. It's one of those things. Like I don't even know where it's coming from, but I know that if I'm up with nonstop energy for like a good 48-hour period, on the third day I am asleep. There's nothing I can do about that. I'm oversleeping and I gotta set 6 alarms to wake that ass up. So
Let me tell you,
It's
I
when that's how
remember
I know
for
that
real,
I'm at
for
my
real. This
max.
is how I know you ain't lying. This is how I know you ain't lying. I remember legitly, and this is how I knew you, like back when we was in college days when you were like crashed out. We would be like kicking it, like when I tell you, like slumber parties, just having a time, like just having conversations, girl talk, whatever. And when I tell you, you could fall asleep in mid conversation. I don't. You was telling the whole story, like, girl, and you know they had the nerve to. I be like, they had the nerve to what? I look over, girl. You one time. This is back in the day, before you was a vegan. So you had a chicken wing in this hand. You done passed out mid conversation, pizza in the hand, everything, like passed out.
Facts, like,
You was telling
facts.
the whole
Hey, I be
story.
telling people. I be telling people like when you don't know, I'm gonna tell your body is built to go into survival mode. If you don't lay yourself down, your body will lay it down. And I tell people all the time, I don't even know I'm going to sleep. I just be like, hey, I've been running high energy all week. I've been up at work, grinding at night, working on this. And I'm telling you, it's just something like a light switch, like somebody hit a little button on my shoulder and I start powering down. People be like, did you know you? No, I
Somebody
didn't
hit the
know.
button
I
on you.
didn't know I
I'm
went to
telling you
sleep.
because I watched it. Like we would go
Like,
to class, do this, go out. We would do all these things, and we knew we had all the energy. And we would come back, be kicking it, just up here, like I said, girls talk, telling each other all little stuff, and baby, something will hit you like the power button because I'm telling you, I done watch you pizza in the hand, baby girl, pizza in the hand, and you done fell asleep like mid conversation, like, hey, this show is so funny, girl. Mm. I be like, damn. Like she ain't waste no time. I'm like, girl, I be trying to take the pizza, put it to the side, put it back in the box for you, baby, so you can eat it another day. It was crazy. But that's how tired you are,
yeah,
like especially like when you have so much going on.
exactly.
Especially
You know,
now, I
I
feel like in
always
our
say
grown
this
age, we
that
all got some business.
let me tell you, the cure for tired and fatigue right now is having a plan. Because at this point, I got to know what I'm doing. I got to tap into my energy resources, like the foods that you eat. Like you got to go to bed at a certain time. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Like I had said to somebody, I'm like, I'm no longer the late night creeper. You know, like during the weekdays, I was
Yeah.
like, baby, put it to bed. Put it to bed at a decent hour. Social media, you got to unplug, turn the phone off and over. Like put it across the room, hang it up
Oh,
because
everything gotta go.
your energy changes. Yeah, like I'm now where is my multivitamin at? I got to get my daily dose of vitamin C. I got to have all of that energy producing food just to keep that energy where it needs to be at because like it's necessary. Like I tried to start going back to doing 6 a.m., 7 a.m. gym. And I was
No,
telling
that's a
people, I
fact.
was like, it was whooping my ass. It was whooping my ass. Getting up that early in the morning, going to work out, and then having to go to work. But I was like, it's a routine that you got to get yourself into. And I had to start fueling my body the right way. And one thing was learning how to be better at going to sleep and like staying asleep. They said that not just going to sleep, but staying asleep. Some people only get an
No, for
average of like
sure.
4 hours.
No, for sure. Because I used to, like I said, I used to get on you all that. Like I said, I still do to this day. You be up here like all I need is a good 4 hours. I be like, we gotta stop. Let me show you something, baby. I can't even go on trips with just one head because she be feeling like all we need as a group is 4 hours of sleep. I be like, look, I don't know whose schedule we on, but we not on that. I need about a good 6 to 8, like they tell you should have in the real world. You up here want us to just thug it out off of 4 hours of sleep. No, but I do feel like you said, we now are at that age where like every little thing counts. Like you said, take your vitamins, get your nap, look here. And I know people hate to hear this. Get your naps too. It sometimes ain't all about sleep. Get your nap sometimes. Sometimes you just need a nap, goddammit. Okay, a little nap can take you a long motherfucking way. Get your little
Look,
nap. Like I said, take your vitamins,
I
do
want
what
the
you need
naps
to
back
do.
from I want the naps back from preschool. Look, I used to be one of them kids that like, I don't need the nap, miss. I can skip it. Let me tell you, at this big grown age, I be sitting at work just leaning like I should have cashed that in. I need to cash in my naps back from kindergarten or something because I need to cash that in right now. Cause what
Let me tell you something.
like and you feel it.
If I
You
could do
feel
it
it in
all
your
over again, I
energy
bet
and
you
how
I'll
you're
take that
carrying
damn
yourself.
nap. You ain't have to fight me to take that nap this time.
Right? You know how you used to be young and kids used to say things like, I don't want to go to sleep. Like I'm a big kid. I don't gotta go to sleep. And at this grow age, I'm like, where the naps at? How come we don't have siestas in this country? Siestas are really nice in other
Son, we're at
countries.
the age now
We
you are
have a
planning
little
that.
respite
Like,
during the course of the day. Like, hashtag bring a
what?
siesta to the U.S. We all need that little midday break.
No, for real. We're at the age where we're like planning naps in the schedule. Like, naps are in the schedule. You be like, all right, y'all, so breakfast at 8. You be like, go back, get yourself together. Then we go into the excursion at 11, 12. Come back, take a nap. Like, the naps be in the schedule nowadays. That's how serious it is.
But like, I think that we talk about how work is one component of things that like drain your energy. That's only one half of it, right? There's so many other things that we yield our time to that also makes me equally tired. And I'm gonna be so honest when I say this. People are draining as shit. They draining as shit. Like, you ever been around somebody
That's a fact.
who's can you consider like a energy vampire that like as soon as you get around that person you find yourself like even more tired just by experiencing them?
That's a fact. Like, especially I feel like, I don't even want to say people that's figuring it out because we're all figuring it out, right? I feel like if people more so people that ain't trying to figure it out. People that sitting up here blaming the world for their BS and want to sit up here and be draining than a mother. Draining. I don't need all that. If people really will suck, like you said, a vampire will suck the life out of you if you let them. If you keep them around you when they are not at the place of figuring it out and getting themselves together and doing what they need to do. People will put their misery on you. That's why I say misery love company. They'll put their misery on you. They'll put their guilt on you. They'll put everything they got on you because that's what will make them happy in the moment because they want to suck the life out of you because they ain't got one.
That's a fact. I had to realize like how to identify an energy vampire. And the first way that I can identify a person like that is they're constantly rooted in negativity. If you complain about everything, if you have something negative to say about every aspect of life, if there's never a positive word or a laugh in your heart and soul, then I know that you're somebody that I can't give a lot of time and attention to. If every time I share something positive, you talk about, well, that's just happening good right now, but the world coming to an end tomorrow, the rapture about to take us. Like if I share a positive word with you and you're gonna be like, well, it's probably gonna rain when you go out that day. It's probably going to. I cannot be around
You also
people
one of
who are
them
overwhelming and who are just
with
soaked in
negativity.
negativity. Like those are the vampires. Those are the people, or the people who constantly add on to your plate. If you know that I'm already carrying, my plate is full. It's
Oh,
buffet full.
oh,
It's
you
stacked.
said a whole word
It's
there.
stacked.
Forgot about them for a
My
second.
plate is already stacked. You know what I'm saying? I don't got room
Hey,
at
you want to
all,
dump yours before
nowhere
mine?
on the plate. And then
My
you
plate
add
is
into
full.
it.
My plate is full. My back is big, and I don't need no more of yours either. Thank you.
Right? That's how
Hmm.
you identify an energy
And
vampire.
that's that on that.
Someone who doesn't care to recognize, right? Like somebody who doesn't care to recognize that you already have a lot going on. And it's not that you don't want to support, because naturally, you and I and a lot of other people out there are helpful people. So we will pitch in where we see fit. But if I already got a lot on my back and you
Hmm.
know that I'm tired, like I'm looking like I'm just dragging around, and you're like, could you take me here? But could I borrow this? Wait, could you do that for me right quick? Hey, what if I energy vampire? Whatever life I have left, you just tap, tap,
No, that's
tap it
the
on my
fact.
neck.
And I
That's
feel like
it.
it's. I feel like it's one of those things where, like we say all the time, right? Life for everybody. But here's what I don't like. I don't like when people say life and life in, but don't realize that works for everyone. Life's on everyone. So, like I said, here you are, knowing that it likes for everybody, but you people say it, but I feel like they don't understand it when it comes to like checking on somebody or doing this and doing that. They're just worried about them in the moment. So what happens is you think only your life is life. So here you come, like you said, with your plate, ready to scoop it on mine, not even asking, hey baby girl, are you okay? It's this, that, and the third. And some people will take that energy from you. And it's kind of one of those things too where like I tell people all the time, people know good energy. And somebody who is not at the best of energy will spot that and will take it right from you. Take it out of you, like will breathe it out of you. because they know that you have a good
Yep.
energy and they want that, but they don't even know how to give it back to you.
Because it's easier to pull somebody down than it is to lift them up. And that's the reality. Like,
That's a
and
fact.
so many people find themselves in that position that when they see that you're like you're running off this untapped force and that you're constantly moving with this energy. And that's not just like I said, the physicality of energy. We're talking about like the spirit behind energy, right? Your mindset is right. You're positively
Mm-hmm.
charged in the right direction, right? You're putting one foot in front of the other. You're accomplishing things that you need to accomplish. When somebody is struggling in that way, it's natural for them to look at another person and say, well, how are you doing this? Could you show me or do it with me? And then you got the people who are like, could you do it for me? Right? So it goes in intervals for a lot of people, right? 1 minute that person's going to watch you. They may salt you and say like, hey, man, I see you doing all of that stuff. Man, you ain't going to be able to get all of that done. Then you're going to have somebody else that comes around and goes like, show me the game. Then you're going to have another person come around and go, like, just do it for me. I can't do what you're doing. I need a piece of
Mm-hmm.
your energy. If I can't run to the store, you run to the store, right? If I can't finish this project, you finish this project. And there's just a lot of people out here like that. They work in where they got to tap into your energy source because they never knew how to they're not self starters. They don't know how to find that energy for themselves.
That's true. The question is, how do we cleanse ourselves from that?
You know, I
How
think
do you
taking
cleanse yourself
breaks,
from
right?
vampires?
Right. I think I've been better at, like I said, reaffirming boundaries. And we always say that hashtag, that's a word that we use out here on Who Woke the Savage, boundaries, heavy on that. But a big part for me is like giving myself my time back. Time is so important, it's so valuable that my yeses have to be yeses and my nos have to be nos. And I've cut a lot of people off from contact when I realized that every time I was around them, it was a self serving situation where like they only called me when negativity was looming in their life. And there was never anything positive to share. So after I would leave conversations like that, I would feel so heavy that I found myself in a stuck position. Now, I'm
Mm-hmm.
the type of person that if something's going on in my life, I give myself 24, 48, I'm back on my feet. I got to move forward. I got to get it done. But you can listen to some people's toxicity and weighted conversation that just leaves you feeling stuck. It depresses your mood. It makes you feel lackadaisical and you just can't like move with the same like gusto. So I had to start cutting people off like that. Like I wish them well. I want them to work on their happiness. I want them to find someone to talk to and share with to create positivity for them. But I couldn't be that person. Professionally, I'm cool with listening and lending an ear. Personally, I have to have boundaries. I have to be able to turn off that switch so that I don't lose my complete battery. I need to keep my social battery up. I got to be able to function.
It's also one of those things where, like you said, first of all, you said something strong. You said, let your yeses be yeses and your nos be your nos. And if that ain't a whole word in itself, that's the whole word right there. Somebody should put that and they script right there. So that's a whole word. But I know for me, it's one of those things where, like, if I feel like I'm losing myself, and I feel like sometimes people don't understand that too. I feel like sometimes you don't understand when you're around people that make you lose yourself. When you're around people that are holding you back, and you don't even realize it, because sometimes, and I know this is gonna hurt to say it, sometimes it's the closest people to you. So it's one of those things like you don't even realize you're putting your life on a standstill because like you have stopped motion. You were moving, you had goals, you was accomplishing shit, you was doing everything you needed to do. And then because you were hanging around this person, something something started stopping because you didn't realize it. And I feel like it's one of those things when I start feeling like I'm going backwards and not forward, then I know I have to
Self
reevaluate who's in my
sabotage.
corner. Because
No,
everybody who's in my, we need to be moving forward. Now, I'm not saying, here's the thing, we all have different goals. So we're all not going to meet the goal at the same time. And we all know that. That's human facts. Like, we all know that.
that's a
Nobody's going to meet
fact.
the goal at the
Yeah.
same time. But also at the same time, as long as you're trying to reach a goal, we got something to talk about. But I shouldn't be around you and feel like I'm losing me. Like I done put my shit on pause because I'm around you or whatever the case may be. It should be one of those. And sometimes that's how you can identify who you need to drop around you too.
You know what? I've had a lot of moments like where I've realized that I was on a hamster wheel. Like it was just like the continuous cycle, running around, running around, running around. You would get, like you said, you would go forward and come right back around, go forward and come right back around. And I had to take myself off the hamster wheel. Like you said, if I can't recognize who I am anymore, despite like, communicating effectively, saying what I need, and trying to give myself more time, and I realize that comes from people not honoring and respecting what you got going on for yourself and what you need to do to continue to push forward. I feel like the natural course for me is to say like I gotta move away. I gotta step away from that situation. Because if I no longer recognize myself, I gotta spend way more time with me than anybody else. I gotta look at myself in the mirror every day. I have to love who I am. I have to like who I am. I have to be proud of myself every day. So I feel like if I start to look at myself like a stranger, like I don't know what's up and what's down, then no, I gotta regroup and I gotta tap back into that thing that gets me motivated again. And if that means that I gotta remove and start slaying all of these little energy vampires out of my life, then that's just so be it. That's what I have to do.
And it's a bunch of them. It's a rack
Shit.
of them. I'll tell you that.
Man,
And the
I
thing is,
said,
and I do need people to understand that it's one of those things where, like I said, sometimes it will be the people that's closest to you. And I know that's a hard thing because we've had this. Anybody who did not, tune in to season one, we had this conversation where I told you before, don't nothing make my heart smile more. If I'm having a bad day, baby, let me tell you something. I'm gonna sit in my bed, I'm gonna rub my ankles together and figure out who getting blocked today. Today, God damn it. Because let me tell
delete,
you, some people
delete,
just do
delete.
not need to have access to you. Delete, 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 block. Because some people just don't need to have access. Sometimes we hold on to people that you be like, when you finally let them go, you be like, wow, you've seen all the signs. You've seen
What,
every sign that you
what you
need to
said,
see
friend?
55 times.
Friend, what you used to tell me, you said change the
You've seen
locks, right?
every
When
sign
someone
55
feels,
times. Oh,
when someone has too much
baby,
access to
let me
you
tell you,
and they keep walking through that
the
door, what you
strongest thing
saying? What
somebody
you
ever
said to
told
tell the
me,
people?
they looked me in my face. They looked me in my face and said, if they think that you're the safe house, change the locks. That is probably some of the best advice I ever could have got. They said if they think you're the safe house, change the locks. They come back to you because they feel like they're safe, that you're gonna always be there, that you're never gonna turn your back. You going whenever they do some effed up stuff, you're gonna be right there. You're gonna forgive them. You're gonna do all these different things, and you're gonna be that natural born, nice, loving person that you are. And until you decide to change them locks and let them know that they do not have that access to you, they do not have rights to have that access to you, that's when something will change.
Well,
That's
people,
some of the best
because
advice
people
somebody
will
could
turn
ever
you.
told me. And ever since then, I've been changing locks.
I'm gonna tell you, because that was spot on. You know what? Nobody wants to be anybody's comfort creature. Like no one, like it's okay to be a shoulder at times, but I cannot be your comfort creature. I cannot be the only thing that helps you reset and feel better
I
in
cannot
this
be an
world.
emotional support
It is
anymore.
exactly. And that's it's one of those things like it's making yourself a sacrificial lamb for other people, right? To make sure that they're good and sacrifice of yourself, your self-worth, your value, your energy, your time, your mind. And one thing I don't play with is your mind. That is one of the most valuable assets that we have. I remember working years ago, I worked in a mental health facility. I worked in a psych. And I remember this doctor saying to me, we're all one incident away from being in this same space. Anything, anything can create a situation. Your mind is sensitive, it is fragile. Any form of trauma, any extra level of fatigue or stress can create a situation where we're all one step away from being locked up. They won't let me out. Okay. So once
Let me
I
tell you
learned
something.
that, I learned that you have to protect your peace with a force. You have to protect your mental health and well-being with a force. Like don't let anything get you to the point where you're coming outside of yourself as a result of other people creating toxicity for you. And that's why I said, no, it's okay to walk away from what no longer serves. It's okay to change the locks. It's okay to recenter yourself and tell yourself that these people are blocked. They can't get access to me anymore. I ain't got to deal with you no more. And that's friends, family, or foe. And I say that again, friends, family, or foe. I don't care who it is.
Hello. Let me tell you something. You said the whole word because I'm gonna tell you when I learned that one. Honestly, I realized that I don't know if you. I know you. We talk about her all the time, but Monique, when she came out with that stand up talking about I could be your cellmate, let me tell you something. Right then and there is when I learned that lesson. Right then and there, I realized that it does not take much for us all to be just a click away from being right here with your inmates. Like it does not take much. And let me tell you, I tell people all the time, and you, like I said, you know me, and you know me now, and you know me then. Okay, you know as you get older, you start making better decisions. You start realizing that you have to, you know, become. You have to take care of yourself more, and that's why I protect me at all costs. I'm going to choose me every time because I now am at that age where I know what it looks like when I didn't choose me. And I realized I could have been a click away when I didn't choose me.
I tell people all of the time, like, don't take it as arrogance. Confidence is, like I said, is one of those like self-preservation. We have to do these things in effort to stay forthright in this world that creates a lot of chaos. There's wild shit happening right now. Wild stuff happening all over politics, wild stuff happening in the
For
media,
sure.
wild stuff happening in people's homes with their health, with their lives. There's so much going on in the world. If you don't have a common center, and if you don't have the type of people around you who are affirming you, who are creating moments of laughter and joy and support, people that are good for your spirit, like people don't talk about that no more. I want people around me that are good for the soul. They're just good for the soul. It's like chicken noodle soup. I want people around that give me that type of
Seriously
feeling
speaking,
because
I feel like
otherwise, like I said, I
I want to
cannot
be
be a
around
part of
people.
anything.
Go ahead, friend.
No, I was like, it's just one of those things I can't do it. It's one of those things that I cannot connect with people that like don't feel like I said, everything gotta feel like soul food at this point. It has to nourish the body, you gotta nourish the mind, it gotta make me
I was
feel
just
good,
about to
it
say
gotta
that.
make me feel motivated. Yeah, like it just gotta hit on all cylinders for me.
Hey, friend, guess what? It got to feel like Sunday dinner.
It gotta feel like Sunday
Every
dinner,
time.
like for
Hashtag bring back
real.
Sunday dinner. It got to feel like Sunday dinner. Every
And it's
time.
I always
I want to
use
feel,
I
you
use
want to
the
feel that
expression.
warmth that you feel like that's how you feel when you're around people. You want to feel that warmth. You want to feel that love, that joy, that laugh. That you want to feel a whole different vibe. You want to be around people that make you feel so many different vibes, but not a negative one. You felt every kind of emotion, but none of it was negative. Even if I cried, I didn't feel negative about it after I cried. I felt relieved. I felt like I got something off my
They're
chest.
their friends. There are friends that I used to have that I used to feel like I wanted to avoid them. I'm not even going to stunt. I used to be like, oh, Lord, shit, Shirley didn't call me. I
Ooh,
can't deal
Lord.
with this today. Oh, for real. Like, I used to be like, damn, I can't do it today. Every time I talk to Shirley ass, I'd be like, oh, shit, the world is a bad place. Like, I couldn't do it. And so you have to start evaluating. I do feel like if you know an energy vampire, offer them the courtesy first to check their ass. Tell them about themselves. Tell them about their negative asses. Tell them that they got to do something different. Give them a fighting chance to self correct before you cut them out the picture. Once you tell somebody that they're
That's a
doing
fact.
something that's having a deliberate effect on you, right? Because some people don't even grant the conversation. I don't believe in 100% ghosting people. I believe that you should tell people where you feel like things are going wrong. Once you tell people stuff like that, give them an opportunity to self correct. And if they don't self correct and it's not serving and it don't work for you nor them or anybody, let it go. Let go and let God.
No, that's the whole fact. Because it's one of those things where, like, once some people, like you said, do cut people off the rip. But if I sit here and tell you all the ways that something upset me, rubbed me the wrong way, hey, I didn't like when this, and this happened, and you understand it, but you go back and do it again, or you act like you didn't hear me, and then I gave you multiple chances. Okay, so that's somebody who doesn't care, and we don't have time for that. I don't have time for that because my thing is, I told you this did not rub me the right way. Because you know, if it was you, it would have been okay for you. So yeah, no, I 100% agree with what you just. But friend,
Yes, friend.
it's savage question time.
Savage question time.
Are you ready, friend?
I'm ready. Hit me with it.
Okay. When the universe shows us all the signs, why do we pretend not to see them?
I'm gonna tell you, you speaking to my soul. You sound like that. That I feel like my pastor hit
I
me with the
know.
same question like the other day. Um, I think that we tell ourselves that we bigger than the program. It
Ooh,
really comes down to
ooh.
that. Yeah, it really is. We tell ourselves we're bigger than the program. You know when you have all the signs to leave something alone when something's not good for you, right? As people of color, and I say this strongly, right? We know that there are certain foods that you shouldn't eat because it creates certain problems. But we go, but it's good. I like it. It tastes good. But it's like, but it causes problems. It can hurt you. It's not good for your body. But we tell ourselves that what I like is bigger than what I need. What I like and what I want is better than what's good for me. And that's the problem. And I think that's why we don't always listen to the universe, because we could get 60 million signs set in our direction that tells us this is not great. This is going to end badly. But we go like, but it feels good right now. And temporary satisfaction is a motivator for most people. A lot of people feel like, hey, look, if all I need is a microwave situation and I can have it hot and ready like Little Caesars in 2 minutes or less, then that works for me. But if it takes longer, if you got to sit and wait on it, if you got to get comfortable in a situation that's not moving so quickly, you're like, no good. And I think that's the problem. Like, because the universe will bring you all the great things that you want, but sometimes it doesn't happen quick. It happens in seasons and in waves. So I do feel like that's what people want to work. They feel like they're bigger than the program and they try to step out against the universe and do what they want to do. And they got to keep getting that tap on the hand and on the ass that tells them to sit their ass down.
So I feel like we live off of ifs and time. I feel like a lot of people ignore the signs because they live off of ifs and times. If I give this up, what's going to happen? What if it's supposed to work?
Mm-hmm.
What if this is the person that's supposed to be around me? And if it was the fifth baby, we all be drunk. Okay. If is a strong factor with a lot of people, and time is a strong factor with a lot of people. It's the time that you have put in with some people. Time and titles too. Because like I said, you would hate to have to
Ooh,
realize you gotta cut your mama off. You would hate to have to
that
realize you
we've
gotta
had
let
that
go of that
conversation.
brother. You would hate to have to know you gotta let go of that sister. Okay. And it's one of those things where I feel like it's ifs and time that really just does something to us that makes us ignore things that we don't have business ignoring in that moment. Because, like I said, titles and stuff will make you ignore a lot of things. Titles will have you sitting up here like, it's because it's my mother, it's because it's my father, it's because it's such and such, and you ignore a lot of those signs and realize that it's not okay. And like I said, the it's
Well,
too. Sometimes just regular relationships.
people say if I knew better, I'd do better, right? But it's like, but you did know. You did have insight. Somebody can only fool you once. Like I said, I always quote the J. Cole line, like, fool me one time, shame on you, fool me twice. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, load the chopper, let it rain on you. I'm one of those people. Like, yes, there's certain things that we can honestly say, hey, by trial and error, I messed up. I re-encountered this person, or I re-encountered this experience because I really didn't see any fault with it. This person didn't seem all that bad. This situation wasn't all that bad. We even do that with employment. A lot of people make excuses and stay at jobs they shouldn't stay at, right? Because they're like, if I
Like
leave
no
here,
business.
what if I don't find a better opportunity, right? If I deal with this, even though I don't like how the people are treating me, what happens if I move too quickly? Yeah, we do that all of the time. Like you said, if you knew better, you do better, but you
If it
do know
wasn't fit,
better.
we all be
People
drunk.
have a hard time. They have a hard time listening to that inner voice. Your head and your heart are always a competitor,
Mm-hmm.
right?
For sure.
Your brain may kick a lot of common sense. Like I'm gonna tell you right now, my brain be kicking me some old school game, right? But my heart be having me fucked up in the game. My heart be going
Your
out for
brain is
people
already
that I
installed it.
should.
Your, your brain
My
installed
brain is
it 10
like
months
now.
ago, but your heart still hung up on it.
Right? My heart, it will be like, man, give it another shot. My head will be like, sis, are you serious? You already know what time it is. A is A, B is B, add it together, subtract C. My brain will tell me
You know
whatever it
what time
needs to
it is.
be, and it makes it clear. But it's the head and the heart are always going to be an internal conflict. I was like, we have a moral compass. Well, sometimes logic goes out of the window. You, like I said, we'll know what's
It
good
does.
for us. If somebody tells you, hey, you shouldn't have another drink, you be like, damn, but I'm getting lit tonight. That feel good. I'm gonna have another drink. Your brain is like, sis, you're going down. You shouldn't have another drink tonight.
Don't drink
But your
nothing
heart is like,
else.
right? But your heart is like, man, we getting lit tonight. We cutting up. Get everything that we do in this world, honestly, that's the competing energy. We're always trying to tell ourselves, what do I want versus what I
That's
know.
a fact.
I know what's up, right? But this is telling me that I want to do something different. And until you learn how to get those equally yoked, where they can inform each other in the right way, it's always going to be a battleground. You're always going to
Tell you
feel like you're in
something
a
though.
constant like exchange.
I'm gonna tell you though, that could take years or never. Because I feel like even now, I feel like I'm way better at it now. I'm not going to say I'm perfect at it because nobody's perfect at anything. But I feel like I'm way better at it now. Where, like I said, if it don't add up here, this don't, it don't add up. Because I don't have time to damage this or this. So it don't matter. So if it don't add up here, this already was like, oh no, we agree with you. It don't add up either.
Yeah. Because
But
I'm going to tell you,
but it takes
this can
time.
get this bent out of shape. Yep. This can get this bent out of shape. There's so many people out here flying off the handle because this talk way more than this talk. And they got them twisted in the game. I would say there's a lot of women who are behind bars because of decisions made from here and not here. There's a lot of men behind bars
That's
because of
right.
decisions made out of here and not here. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of people who move on
Hmm.
impulse and they react to things before they really let their brain
That's right.
process what they should be doing. And that is a problem. That's one of the main components of like how things end up in bad situations very quickly. And like you said, it's not something that you're going to get perfect all the time because we're still human beings. We're supposed to process our feelings and vet it out and know, how we want to move towards certain things. But if you're not giving yourself enough time and you just like one of those people who wear your heart on your sleeve, you're going to get screwed to the wall in a lot of situations. It's okay to be a good person. It's okay to have good intentions. But I tell people, let your mind work through some scenarios, not to overthink, but to truly process things.
And that's what it is, because I ain't gonna lie, we in a world of overthinkers. And I feel like it's so many people overthinking. And sometimes you just gotta process stuff. And I get it because we talk about all the time, everybody got trauma. Everybody got something that happened to them. So I'm not saying I don't understand the overthinking it. Sometimes you overthink because of your trauma. Your trauma makes you overthink. But sometimes you do gotta step back and realize when something is good for you and meant for you, and when something isn't good for you and it's not meant for you, you gotta kind of know how to balance the both. Don't block your blessing because of trying to, um, because of the trauma. So we gotta find that equal balance.
Yeah, I think you have to be open to trying out new things. Like I always tell people, don't shut yourself off. Like everybody that you encounter is going to be different. If you've encountered, let's say,
For
we've
sure.
been talking about energy vampires. If that's been your primary experience dealing with human beings, is that you're always around like negative people and that's feeding on you, you may go into other situations feeling like you can't get comfortable around new people because of bad experiences. And like I said, that's a part of your heart
That's a
saying,
fact.
hey,
And I feel
I
like
want to do
sometimes people
this,
always
but
overcorrect.
I don't trust myself. Yeah, because I think that people
Hmm.
lose trust in themselves. A lot I hear this from a lot of men and women where they like, my instincts got me in trouble. Or they feel like, I went out, my heart got me in trouble. Or you know what, I don't know if I make the most informed decisions. And then they lose that instinct. And that is the biggest thing. When you lose your protective instincts on how to keep yourself safe and whole and happy, it's very hard for you to navigate and trust. And that battle between like, what should I do and how should I do it and when should I do it? That's when that overthinking really does rev up because you no longer trust yourself to make informed choices.
I want to start off by saying this has been an amazing conversation. I want to say thank you so much to my
Yeah.
girl, Miss Wellenwood. And you know, it's your girl, Lady A
Thank you,
Savage.
Supreme.
Remember that you can find all streaming platforms. We stream on YouTube, also on TikTok, Instagram. You know, any Savage question that you want to hear, please DM. Let me know any topics. You can DM to me and my girl, Miss Wellenbook. And anything you want to add?
As always, you know the people. We are the people's champs. Like I say, your Bronx and Baltimore besties. We love you for free.